These are my confessions. Just when I thought I said all I can say, my chick on the side says she got one on the way. These are my confessions.
What's up, guys? It's your boy Casey100, and right now I'm about to tell you, as you saw from the title, I'm about to tell you guys my story. I'm gonna start this off saying that you know, the point of this story is not to bash anyone, and it's not for you guys to feel sorry for me or, you know, anything like that, because the reason I'm doing this video, because it's been real heavy on my heart for a while, and and I think it'll be, it'll be some weight off my shoulders if I do this video. So you know, as always, let's get started. Okay, now you know, when I was just a baby, you know, only a couple months old, I was diagnosed with autism. You know, and growing up, you know, I was always different. I never really, you know, fitted in with the other kids. Like I always got picked on, you know, always got laughed at, and you know, throughout my childhood, it, you know, made things real hard. You know, like, but you know, as time went on, my autism, you know, it went away, but it left me with Tourettes syndrome. But I don't know if you're familiar with that or not. You know, you can Google it, but it's a little hard to explain. But you probably have noticed it in my recent videos. But Tourette syndrome, sometimes it causes you to lose control physically. Sometimes you'll have muscle spasms, you'll tick, you'll even make, you know, uncontrollable sounds, and that's what Tourette syndrome causes. And you know, to help explain it better, I'm gonna play a video, and it's gonna be right here in this, you know, corner right here, like as always. So let's get to the video.
Biscuit. Why the word biscuit?
Oh gosh, I wish I knew. Biscuit.
Happy birthday!
They want to be heard.
Sorry, guy.
It's like a sneeze. Once you let it out, it just erupts. Mind your please.
Tourette's.
Biscuit. Biscuit. Don't say biscuit. Biscuit.
How does it feel physically?
Tiring.
Now they're helping kids.
My mission is to change the world. Biscuit one tick at a time.
And music is helping them. The fascinating and, yes, confronting world of Tourette's. It can be as mild as an involuntary cough, a facial tic, even the way you sneeze. But at its most severe, it causes sudden and surprising movements and sounds, including foul language. It's embarrassing and completely uncontrollable, which is why the three brave people you're about to meet want to be heard. They want you to know what it's like. And a warning, they don't mean to offend, but some of their language may offend some viewers. Here's Ronnie Sadler.
So tell me what your Tourette's symptoms are now. What do you feel? What happens to you?
I often describe for everyone else who doesn't know Tourette's as it's like a sneeze that wants to come out and is going to come out, and you might as well just let it out. I also just describe it as, like, say, having a fizzy can and you're shaking it, and wanking. You have a fizzy can and you're shaking it, and it's just better to just let it go. Oh, faggots. Buggery. Once you let it out, it just erupts. And I think that's where I am with my Tourette's. To the Batmobile. Kick him in the nuts. Push him.
We first met Ruth.
I'm just gonna stop it right here real quick, because I just want to let you guys know that yes, mine is you know, just like that, but it's not as bad. Like 9 times out of 10 I can control mine, especially when I'm in public places. Like usually if I'm home or if I'm with a few people, you know, especially ones that I really care about, you know, it slips out. Either I wind up ticking, or wind up, you know, saying random things uncontrollably. But 9 times out of 10 I can control mine. So let's get back to the
Lujadi in East London.
It's a motherfucking dingo. All right, last one out, so anchor.
On the underground, taking the train into town.
This is a Piccadilly line service to
Shipville.
Heathrow terminals 1, 2, 3.
For her fellow passengers, what she says is confronting.
Can we kill him yet? When can we kill him?
For her, it's uncontrollable.
Cellulite.
Winkers! No way.
Further north in a Liverpool pub, Luke Montague is about to order a pint. It might take a while.
Bollocks! Bollocks! Winkers!
How does it feel physically?
Tiring.
Biscuits.
Back in London, Jess Tom is being made up for a performance that will
Biscuit. How? Biscuit.
take the biscuit.
How? Biscuit. 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 Biscuit.
The word biscuit. Why the word biscuit?
Oh gosh, I wish I knew. Biscuit, why certain words, biscuit, become ticks. How is a complete mystery to me. Biscuit. And as well as being sometimes like a worry, like you worry what you're going to, what the next tick will be, biscuit is also can be quite a delight. How? Biscuit, sand, help. I'm stuck down a well.
How do you go dating?
Winkers! I did speed dating once. That was interesting. It's the only time I could offend women in bulk, to be honest.
Luke, Jess and Ruth have Tourettes,
Oh, he's cheating on you. Oh, he's cheating on you.
as do 1% of the population, 220,000 Australians. 10% of them have the form that compels them to swear, but for most it's as mild as a...
Okay, we're gonna pause right here for a second. Now, when I was little, my Tourette's syndrome was nowhere near as bad as it was now, but as I gotten older, like when I was around 11 years old, I remember talking to my grandma, and she had talked to my my doctor. Me and my sisters, all three of us had the same doctor from when we were little. But after she had talked to my doctors, they had told me that as I get older, it will get worse. So that's one thing I hate about. But as life goes on, I learn to accept it. Because I hated being different. I hated standing out. But it was I don't blame anyone for this, and I wouldn't wish this on anyone either, because sometimes things just happen. I like to think that every single thing happens for a reason, but sometimes it doesn't. Sometimes things just happen. But let's just get back to the video.
facial tick or even throat clearing. It's largely hereditary and begins in early childhood.
It's action, alligator snap. Help! I'm stuck down a well. And relax.
Jess was a small child when her Tourette's developed.
When I was about 6. Biscuit, that's the sort of first age that I can, Biscuit, feel like I can date it. Biscuit, and I made a sort of squeaky noise with my mouth. And I remember knowing that I couldn't just stop.
At first, her behaviour, her tics, seemed little to worry about.
Man, Biscuit, they were much less noticeable. When I was younger than they are now, less noticeable to other people. Biscuit, the sensation hasn't actually changed. Biscuit, that much for me. Biscuit, my muscles will contract and move into uncomfortable positions. Biscuit, and that can be painful. Biscuit, the sensation is, Biscuit, really overwhelming. Biscuit, it's like a constant surge of, Biscuit, of sort of discomfort, and like it's impossible, Biscuit, to be still. Sometimes it feels like there's sort of itching powder in your blood, and no, Biscuit, there's no way of being still or comfortable. Biscuit, San.
How are you feeling right now in your body? Like at this moment?
San.
Does that hurt? Is it annoying?
No. Biscuit, it's not annoying. Biscuit, it's Biscuit, and I can't. It's difficult to describe something that's always been Biscuit, part of my life. Biscuit.
What does it feel like when your body is doing these things? Do you feel like you have any control over it, or are your arms just doing exactly what they want with...
What they want. My arms are doing exactly what they want, and for me, it's best to do that. I feel sometimes like I often describe my Tourette's maybe as like a 2-year-old trying to escape, and like all small children, it's best just to let them get it out of their system.
Ruth is a 26-year-old singer.
Gone on a motherfucking bomb.
She has little control over what she says.
Whoa, wankers.
it's involuntary.
All hail Lucifer.
But what she says can
Lucifer. Pointers.
and does offend people around her.
Cellulite.
For reasons that mystify her, her condition is intensified when she's out in public.
Penis.
She accepts it now, but for many years struggled to understand and to cope. Ruth now limits her day-to-day activities for fear of embarrassing herself and others.
Knock, knock. Who's there? Lucifer. Hello, Lucifer.
Let's take Lucifer shopping.
Indeed.
When was the last time you came clothes shopping? In an actual shop?
Maybe 2-3 years ago.
Do you ever sit there and wonder why on earth this had to happen to you?
When I first got diagnosed, every day, every minute, I used to think, why me? I'm quiet, I do my work. No one else seems to have it in the family. Why has it chosen me? Painters.
Tell me about some of the more negative experiences you've had.
Okay, guys, I'm gonna stop it right here. But by playing that video, now you guys have a better view of what you know I have to deal with day to day. Mine is not as these two people you just saw. Mine is not as bad as theirs, but over time, you know, the day will come where it will get to that point. But you know, I just gotta live with it. You know, just try to stay positive. But when I first realized about what I had, my grandparents, my parents, always knew, but personally, I never knew what it was, and I never knew why I did what I did. I never knew why I couldn't control some of the things, some of the movements that I did in my body. But they always knew, and they never, they always loved me the same. They never looked at me different. They never, judged me for being so different. But throughout the life, I was a problem child. I got into fights in school. The main reason was because I got picked on so many times. But over time, I didn't let it bother me. But being, no one's perfect in this world. Being imperfect, anxieties started to build on. I kind of, hated standing out. I hated, like at that point, I hated myself. I felt so low because despite that I was different, I still had loving family members. I still had a lot of good friends, but but because of the problems I had, I was behind on school just a little bit. I never got held back, but luckily for me, I was able to catch up in just a nick of time. I graduated from high school 2 years ago. I got my diploma. But before I graduated, there was a chance that I almost didn't make it because of the problems that I had. And I felt so low because, I didn't understand why did I get Tourette's, because my sisters, my uncle, none of them have it. I'm the only one in my family that has it. And I felt so low because, as everyone was moving on in life, it felt like I came to a standstill. I felt so low that it felt like everything in my life has just moved on, but I was still here. That's if you haven't seen my last video, I'll show you a preview of it right here. Basically, it's me like looking down. Basically, the point of that video is to highlight how I feel. Basically, it's me looking down, just standing there. Basically, it's like time standing still, and everything around me is just moving forward. Like the car, the clock's ticking, and at the end of the video, it shows like my heart. It shows my heart beating. It shows my heart frozen, and then it starts back beating again. So that's how I felt. When it felt like I came to a standstill, like I didn't want to go on anymore in life. But then my family members, my friends, they pulled me out of that. I felt so bad. I wanted to be alone. I didn't want to be around anyone because I felt that you know, I felt that bad. I felt that low in life, but they pulled me out of that, and that's what that my last video highlights, with my heart being frozen and then it beats back up again. So well, that's the end of this video. And you know, I just gave it like I said at the beginning, because this felt heavy on my heart, so I felt it would probably be best to make this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You know, if you liked the video, then like the video. The link to that video I played you guys, explaining Tourette's syndrome, that will be in the description below if you want to check it out for yourself. And you know, like, comment, share, subscribe, and as always, I'll be back with more videos. Peace.